Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Norm's Friends. Of course, you know who I am by now. David B., also known as the Reading Guy. Biffid at yahoo.com. Biffid at yahoo.com. 603-604-9338. You can reach out to me that way. You can also reach out, but give me a few minutes. Before you do, you can catch me here at 603-640-3091. Any questions or comments? We'll open it up for readings later if anybody wants it. I only brought tarot cards today because I figure maybe let's switch it up and do psychic readings today so I can get feedback and people, I'm either spot on or spotty, which is fine with me. But before we get to all that, as you can see today, it's just me. Once wonderful Scott here sort of gets into a normal schedule at work without having to work Wednesdays, it'll be more easier to schedule guests because, let's face it, it's difficult. You can't really, or I don't want to schedule someone, right? Oh, you want to be a guest on the show? And then we get word that there is no show. Now I'm starting to sound like Biden. So that's the story. So let's do some current events. How's that sound? Right? Current events. Pardon me. So first, and if anybody would like to make a wager, I'll be more than happy to make the wager. What happened at 3 o'clock? We got the verdict in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. She's got to fork over $15 million. They found her, I thought I wrote it, liable for defamation. Imagine, poor thing. So, anybody want to make a wager? Tomorrow on The View, Her Highness Whoopi is going to start going on about typical verdict. Why? White supremacy. Women get thrown under the bus. It's all right for white guys to beat white women. I have to take that back. I don't want to sound racist. It's all right for white guys to beat women, period. If anybody wants to make that wager, let's hear it. I'll even do 10 to 1. Anyway, so that's it. All right. How's this? My famous quotes, all right? Let's go on with a famous quote today. I wrote several. I'm choosing this one here. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Isn't it true, though? Isn't that who the perhaps future leaders will be? The ones who, like Martin Luther King Jr. said, right? I have a dream, and he believed in the beauty of that dream. And look where he ended up until the point where the government assassinated him. But anyway, so again, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, none other than Eleanor Roosevelt. But just think about that saying. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's all got to do with, first of all, to be able to dream, all right? Dreams come from within, all right? What else is within? It's your soul. It's your spirit is within you. And if you don't tune in to your soul and your spirit, all the oomph that's in you, whether you want to admit it or not, it's your soul and your spirit. If you can't tune into that, you don't have any dreams. Why? Because by sort of shutting off your soul or not nourishing your soul and your spirit, how can you literally dream when you're just stagnant and have all this negativity going on. Think about it. It makes sense. And to get to that point, right, to get fantastic dreams, all you have to do, right, feet flat on the ground. And that's what I always do. I close my eyes and I try not to, and I've been doing this for years and years. I don't think of anything. Just nice deep breaths and sort of, you let go of control and you sit there and you start. Naturally, it's not going to happen the first time you do it or, 10 minutes after the first time you do it. It's like anything else. Practice, 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 but what happens is, all right, you close your eyes, and I never do the lotus position like they say. I just get in the most comfortable position I can think of. And then when you do it, you just really, you begin to realize how much more depth there is to you than just if you're looking at, you look in the mirror at your physical self. Once your control sort of leaves and you can feel all that depth and that calmness. And you just, what happens to me is I usually meditate in the morning after coffee. I can't do anything before coffee. Well, I have to take the... Good afternoon. Welcome to Norm's Friends. How are you today?
Hi, Dave. How you doing? This is the energy lady.
All right, the queen of the optimists. I love it. How are you
You're
doing?
all over the place tonight.
Leave
my poor Biden alone.
What did I say about Biden? I didn't say anything about Biden.
You're saying you're beginning to be like him, and that's not nice what you said.
When I slurred the words, that's well.
You shouldn't do that.
Why not? I'm trying to put a smile on everyone's face.
That's not a spark.
Yeah,
that's an insult to the poor president.
But wait a minute. See? Wait a minute. There's no winning with you, Queen of the Optimists. I can't win with you. If I talk about them, then I'm always picking on them. So here I am. I'm trying to associate myself with yet the highest, the most powerful person in the free world. And what are you saying? It's an insult. I'm trying to sort of show everybody how I relate, the similarities there are between myself
Everybody counts in the world. I don't care who it is. Black, purple, yellow, green, orange. I don't care. I love them all.
And I agree with you 100%. I'm not disagreeing at all. But, I'm sort of, when I said that, about Biden, it was like, the similarity there about stumbling over my words.
I think he's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. All right.
He really is. He really is. He's got the world on his shoulders.
Oh, I thought you said I was doing a wonderful job. You think he's doing a wonderful...
No, Biden.
Well, we could disagree on that.
Not me. I love what he's doing. He's doing a wonderful job.
He's bringing us into socialism, whether you realize it or not.
No. You deal with Congress with all that. Not him.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. So you say, so I got a question now. You say he's doing a wonderful job. So you think he's doing a wonderful job by opening up the southern border to anyone who wants to freeload on us? You think that's doing a wonderful job?
Whether he opens up the borders or not, people come in and they freeload anyhow. No matter where it is. They don't have to even come in this country. It's all over the place.
Wait a minute, but they don't come if he's not up there with open arms. Oh, come on, we don't care. Just hop the border and we'll give you a free ride.
He's only one person. Don't pick on him.
But he's the one who signs these executive orders and gets rid of them. So.
By the way, can you give me a reading?
I can give you a reading. I can.
No crystal ball?
No crystal ball. You know why? Because I want to switch it up. I was thinking of doing sort of, if you heard at the beginning, psychic readings, because that way I'll either be like, spot on or just spotty, because I haven't done them in a while. Since COVID, that sort of put a damper on everything. So.
Okay, then do that with me.
All right, so let's see for the psychic reading. Let's see what I can get. I'm trying to, because we talk all the time, so I have to sort of see what I get here. All right, this is what I'm getting. Somebody I'm getting there's somebody that owns a dog, I'm going to say 25, 35 pounds, right? They've been thinking about they should be taking this dog to the vet. Take the dog to the vet because I don't know if there's something on with this dog. Nothing major, but this poor dog I'm just getting the sense that it needs something. Maybe they could even sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Figure out what this dog needs themselves, but this dog needs attention in some area, so they can. You know who the dog is, I'm sure. To me, it's like a pot beagle dog. So tell them their dog needs attention, nothing major. So that's that. I'm also getting the sense that on the back side of where you live, I'm also sensing that what's up with your back, whatever you call them, your back door neighbor, the neighbor that lives behind you. What's going on with that? I'm getting some type of thing going on there. Also, let's see, naturally, what I get first and foremost, and it's difficult not to, is all your optimism and all your positive energy. It's just sort of like, you're one of the few fortunate ones because you're able to tap into it, all this positiveness and all this optimism, and there just seems to be a never-ending supply for you, which is fantastic. Let's see. What's with? I'm also getting something about a tree on your property. So what's going on with a tree? I don't know if it's a new tree or what, but I can feel a tree on your property. Let's see. So there you go. Like I said, I'm going on and on really about not too much. But so what I'm going to do is, and then I'm going to cut the cards in, and we'll see how we know what your energy is going to be like, but we'll see if there's going to be any interruptions in like the next week or so. We have the Hanged Man here. So I'm going to say also just a little, put just a little time aside for reflection. And there you have it. So, like I said, your neighbor out back there, there's something about that. I could see words, but not necessarily in a bad way. Communication, let's put it that way. I see communication with your neighbor out back. And the tree, whatever the significance the tree has. Maybe the tree is, more blossoming for yourself. Even, opening up more than you could ever imagine. So, there you have it. What do you think?
I don't know. We'll have to look in the back and see.
All right. Yeah. Look, check it out. And I don't know, do you have a tree on your property? You must. Everybody does.
We have a lot of trees.
Oh, well, there's one in particular. An evergreen. Do you have an
evergreen?
Yeah, an evergreen tree. Yeah. Do you have one?
Oh, we have a lot of green trees.
No, an evergreen tree. Well, they're all green now. All the trees are green now, but an evergreen tree.
Avocado.
No, that's not a pine tree.
I don't have any pine trees.
Oh, no. See? So I'm just spotty. I'm seeing
no pine trees. Many years ago, but not now.
Oh, it's what I got, a pine tree, so.
No.
I don't know. Nature's calling, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what to say. That's what I
That means you have to go to the men's room?
No.
You said nature was calling.
I know, I did say that. I did. See? Very good. Look at that. Very
You're
good.
making me laugh.
Well, that's good. That's a good sign. See? I'm glad you lightened up. So, see, now.
But you're all over the place tonight. You're going from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. I mean, wow.
I know. Wow.
Talk about me having all these things around me. Looking around you.
Well, I think somebody told me I'm not into all this stuff, right? I'm not into all this astrology stuff, but somebody told me it just happened not too long ago. I think within the past week, about Mercury going retrograde. I don't have a clue what it means, but it causes like sort of a little bit of chaos, and maybe it was Mercury going in retrograde or being in retrograde that made me stumble on my words earlier. So, like I said, so that's maybe why I'm all over the place from Mercury.
Just watch about that Mercury, because Mercury can be very dangerous.
That's right. Depending on it, could even be lethal if you have enough. So that's right. But like I said, I don't know anything about that astrology stuff. It's too complicated for me.
The only Mercury I ever knew was in a thermometer.
Oh, really? And what about the only Mercury? Well, that's true, too, but they don't even make them anymore with real Mercury, I don't think. But
well, I don't see them, but I see some around from the olden days.
Yep, that's right. And the only other Mercury I know is in swordfish.
No, there's different types of Mercury, but some is poison, some, you got to be careful with.
Well,
and if you're talking about fish, that's iodine.
Yeah, but I thought, because swordfish are high on the food chain, so they all the other fish that get consumed by them, the little fish have mercury, and then they get eaten by bigger fish that have mercury, so now the mercury gets more concentrated, and by the time you have a nice swordfish steak, there's
mercury in weapons, too.
Well, that's true. Plus, and isn't it, those little kid sneakers I wish they made them for adults, I'd buy a pair, but the little kid sneakers that when they walk, they flash?
Yeah.
Isn't that mercury that does that? I don't know.
I have no idea about that.
Oh, I heard that was mercury, because I just can't see parents putting batteries in kids' shoes, but I heard that mercury does that. I didn't research it, but so there you go. So
I know there's acid in batteries.
They're battery acid, exactly right.
Right. What the heck?
That's right. That's right. And, speaking
you
of...
You cannot fool me anyway. Anyway.
Well, wait. Well, here's another one, because you're the one who brought up acid now. Did you know acid is back in the top 10 drugs now? Did you know that?
Of course I did.
How did you know that?
Acid is, period, it's no good at all.
What?
Very dangerous.
Yeah, but it's in the top 10 acid. LSD, it's back in the top 10 for drugs. Did you know that?
There's also opium, and you have opium in your brain, too. Did you know that? And every once in a while, the opium can release from your brain alone.
No, now, how does I don't smoke opium, so how does that get in my brain?
I don't either.
Well, how does it get in your brain?
But I heard something about it. Everybody's born with opium. Everybody's born with alcohol.
No, but I know I drink alcohol, so.
I don't mean that kind of alcohol.
Oh, what kind of alcohol? That's the only kind of alcohol.
It's all natural alcohol we all have.
What, rubbing alcohol?
And it's sugar, and you name it. We're like a recipe.
Well, I mean, as they say, you are what you eat, right?
You are what you are from the day you're born. And when you get older, you make what you are.
Well, that's true, but you make what you are from what God gave you, what you were born with.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, right, exactly. I agree with you. See? You're more in tune. You're more in tune than what you think. See, do you ever like meditate and as I was explaining before, and, let all the control go, and sort of once you let...
I meditate in many different ways, but I meditate in the way that I can make people happy and myself happy and
That's
stuff like
fantastic. And me, but meditating, when you meditate, when you let go of control and you sort of, let your mind be free and try not, if you get a thought while you're meditating and you just let it pass, your soul or your spirit just takes on a whole nother dimension. And it's amazing.
Well, yeah, I have a peaceful way about myself.
You certainly do. You do have a peaceful way about yourself. And you have a nice charismatic way about yourself. You have a nice warm way about yourself. And of course, which I love.
I don't let nobody get away with nothing either.
Good for you. See, that's one of my weaknesses. I do. Up to a point. And then, if they keep pushing, I sort of try to say it in a nice way, enough is enough. But, when you're nice...
I speak my mind. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't.
Good for you.
I don't lose anything.
You're not kidding. They do. They're the ones who are losing out. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to let you go because in case somebody else wants to call in and say happy, healthy, and strong, and God bless. Goodbye.
All right. Good night. Thanks for calling. Bye. I love her. She's the best. She's the best. So I forget where I was. So just a couple of, let's see. So we went on. The programs are going to be doing the white supremacy. What about white guys are going to be tomorrow? You'll be here. Or you might even hear it tonight on MSNBC, the other CNN probably. What's his name? Anderson Cooper. Oh, and now he'll go on about white supremacists, white guys are going to be able to beat queers now, right? He'll be going on about that. So you know how they're going to twist this now into especially, that's right, they will, because it just dawned on me. I was reading earlier, Nancy trashed everybody. Today's June 1st. It's the beginning of Pride Month. So let's all kowtow to these radical LGBTQ, MNOP, QRST, plus 69 other sexual variations. There's so many, I don't have a clue what they are, but June 1st is their whole month. So, yeah, and so they'll be going on about that. You'll see, but especially tomorrow. Let's get back to it. Watch. Whoopi, The View, all of them be bashing us again. What else? Not a whole lot. Here's one thing, because after the massacre in Texas last week, God rest all those poor little kids' souls and the two teachers, the House is voting on eight bills about gun control. Naturally, it's always about gun control, never about crime control. It's gun control. Six of them wouldn't have prevented last week's horrific attack. Wouldn't do a thing for it, but yet, they're going to do that. I think there are two. One of them is, in order to buy a rifle, they want to raise the age from 18 to 21. So that, I could do that. I mean, to buy a pack of smokes, you need to be 21, right? To buy a bottle of whiskey, you need to be 21. So, I mean, to buy an assault weapon, I could go, all right, you need to be 21. But other than that, I mean, to take them away, to say you can't own this and you can't own that, it's nothing but another power grab. And that's why the founding fathers put the Second Amendment in the Constitution, because they were well aware of what the British government did to them over there before they landed at wonderful Plymouth Rock, Plymouth, Mass. So that's that. And now the party that is in control of, hold on. Before, I know she said I'm all over the place, so I'm just going to, everybody passes the buck, right? It's not that I'm just don't know what I'm doing today. I'm going to blame Mercury in retrograde for me bouncing off the walls, all right? Or I could just tell you, maybe I could have just said, well, I had three shots of espresso before the show. But, so that's that, but let's get back to, that's right, because I was just reading it out there on my smartphone. Today being June 1st, Pride Month. Nancy's going on. She's bashing all these, she's the one pointing fingers, Republicans taking all the rights away from LGBTQ, 102 sexes and identities. However, it cracks me up. One of the first things she's going on about is how they passed these laws to silence transgender kids because they can't choose their sex. I love it. What is she going on saying about they passed these laws? In the meantime, what? You're responsible for your child until it reaches adulthood, which in this country I always thought was age 18. So a parent is responsible for that child, right? If your minor child, we'll say, goes out and damages your neighbor's automobile, right? Who's responsible? The parent. All the damage that your minor child did to your neighbor's vehicle, monetarily, the parent must reimburse the owner of the vehicle. Well, it makes sense because that's the law. You're responsible for your minor child. But according to Nancy, you're not responsible. This is what I just can't connect the dots. If anybody can help me out, 603-640-3091. Help me out with this one, please. She's talking about the red states silencing all these transgender youth, right? And when she says youth, I mean we're talking 7 and 8 year olds, right? According to her, because they've passed laws about that they can't do surgeries and this and that. But this is what cracks me up about people like her. But they got to keep hammering in that wedge and making it wider and wider and wider. In the meantime, the kids, these minors at 8 years old are supposed to be able to, make up their minds that because the teacher keeps telling them how cool it is and, to go against the grain and don't listen, to what your parents tell you about God. You were born either male or female, period. That's what the science is. How come, when you go to a puppy mill to buy a dog, right? Or even, I'm going to take that back. That was cruel. If you go to the local animal shelter to adopt a dog, which every animal I've ever had came from the shelter, right? When you go to adopt an animal, which basically in the shelters is basically cats and dogs, but they do have what? I've seen gerbils, hamsters, mice, rats. What else? Birds. What else have I seen? I don't think I've ever seen a snake in a shelter. But anyway, when you go there on a shelter, they have all these different breeds of animals, right? What is it? You either get, when you take an animal home from the shelter, what is it? It's either male or female. That's it. A or B. It's not A, B, C, D, E, F. It's A or B, right? But do you ever, I adopted a cat at the shelter today. Oh, what'd you get? Oh, I got a trans male. I mean, think about it, right? That's what you do. If people were doing that, everybody, you'd be banging your head against the wall because you wouldn't believe, you just couldn't. I can't believe how thick people are. They got I adopted a dog today. Oh, male or female? Oh no, gender X. I mean, right? So why aren't you banging your head against the wall when people talk about humans, and that's M-A-M-N ending in man, human, all right? It's A, male, or B, female, or I don't want to offend anyone, so A, female, B, male. That's it. That is it. If anybody's got proof otherwise, glad to hear it. If anybody's got a link that I can, find out news source about it, proof that that's not true, please. I can't emphasize enough how I love for you to call me up, 603-640-3091, and please put me on the right road to clarify all that, so I won't be saying there's no such thing as, which gender are you? Oh, I'm P. So much for that. All right, so seeing as Mercury's in retrograde and I can keep bouncing off the walls, so we know that there's one party, I'm not going to mention it, that is in control of all three branches of government. Actually, I really think it's Obama, but the party that's in charge of all three branches of government, right? This is what I want to know is, what are they going to run on? Because the midterms are fast approaching. But, are they going to run on what they've known for since the election of 2020, since our wonderful, what's that phrase that they use? Oh, let's go Brandon became president. This is what they're known for. And again, if anybody thinks I'm misstating anything, 603-640-3091. But this is, so far, this is what they're known for. Prove me wrong. You can't. So far now, they're known as the party of scarcity. Have you ever seen empty shelves like this in a supermarket? No. They're known as the party of open borders. Let's face it. And I know the Queen of Optimism is out there. I know everybody counts, but still. They're known as the party of open borders. They're known as the party of gay porn in elementary schools. Oh, yes, they are. They have those drag queen hours, and I'm sorry if the drag queens got mini skirts on, showing the crack of their what's showing in front. Excuse me, not only that, but the books that they, for 7 and 8-year-olds. Did you see the books? I think it was just in Missouri. The parents kept complaining. Finally, just the other day, they got rid of these books that are disgusting for 7 and 8-year-olds to be suggested they read. All right, so they're known for that. What else are they known for? Emptying prisons, because the justice system is so unfair. Why is it unfair? Because this party does not think, like say I'm walking down Elm Street here and somebody robs me and whacks me on the side of the head with a baseball bat. Oh no, poor thing. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it. They're drugged out. Oh, they just happen to be hungry, so that's all right. You just go on your way. I mean, come on. All right. I love this one. What else are they known as? And then you can't prove me wrong on any of this stuff. The pro-groomer party. What are they doing to their kids? Right? Johnny, I know you're only 6 years old, but are you sure you don't want to be a girl? I mean, think about it, Johnny. You get to have long flowing hair, and you can put on makeup, and you can wear a dress, Johnny. Are you sure, Johnny? You think this over real hard. And, oh, by the way, Johnny, you know, really, never mind even about thinking it over. Johnny, why don't you give it a go? And you know what? We won't even tell Mommy and Daddy. All right. Let's see. What else is this party known as? Less energy. And we can go, there is less energy because look at the price of it. But, right? And we know that they're the party of less energy. Why? Because what do? They canceled all the leases on federal lands. I don't have to go any further. All right. Let's see. They're the party of censorship, right? What are they? They just attempted to start what is it? I love it. The Misinformation or Disinformation Bureau by who's going to head it. One of the biggest fabricators going when she was going on about Hunter Biden laptop was fake. It was Russian disinformation. Oops, excuse me. Let's see. And baby formula scarcity. Of course, that's finally changed now. And what else, just so you know, what's on the coming is, did you notice again, there was another fire in a food warehouse. What's this now? I think, check it out. I could be wrong. I know it's at least 7, but I think it's up to 9 now. Food warehouses that, I don't know how it happens. They just happen to burn down or explode. Unbelievable. But they're going to, this is all just to take you to socialism. And what do they think? The politicians are out there. They're elite. They're not a part of us anymore. Here's all the constituents, and you know what finger they're giving to the constituents. And we tell, who contacted their elected officials the past week? I can't raise my hand. Don't ask me what I was doing, but it was a busy week for me. Oh, because Mercury is in retrograde. I keep forgetting. So there we go with that. I didn't call either, but I am going to call because one of the things they're also working on a bill, and of course, Pocahontas, the senator from Massachusetts, she's working on some legislation about taking over the oil companies. This should scare everyone, and I literally scare everyone. That's what Venezuela did, and look at them today. So you know where Pocahontas wants to take us. That should literally have everybody emailing, calling, texting all your elected officials. Enough is enough is enough. You know, they're on both sides of the fence. These politicians, they're robbing us blind. And, that's all right, but, they're so upset that they can't get a controlling portion of the profits of these oil companies. So now let's take them over so they can destroy those too, because, let's face it, look at when government takes over anything, look what happens. Crap show, let's face it. Oh, here's another thing. Wow. A little bit about, I didn't really say anything about anti-Americanism today. Well, a little bit about Pocahontas. Anyway, excuse me. One thing I want to say, and here's another one. People just sit back, and it's a shame they couldn't care less. They're watching their country get destroyed, and they just go, ho-hum. I know it's not here, but in Connecticut, Muslim Brotherhood, a terrorist organization, classified a terrorist organization in 7 Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, even Iran, classifies them a terrorist organization. They're funding a candidate to run for the U.S. Congress in Connecticut, and nobody is saying a word. It's enough is enough, people. You got to grow a pair, grow a backbone, right? We're not even Muslims. I'm not, and I'm not afraid to speak up, but there's so many people out there. You're not a member of Islam. You don't worship Satan, but yes, you let Sharia dictate you. You won't say, you won't say anything, or you're afraid to speak up about the injustices of Islam. But never mind, they're financing a candidate at Connecticut, but that seems to be perfectly all right. But think about it. If the Catholic Church was funding a candidate in any state, or a Jewish organization was funding a candidate in any state, you wouldn't hear the end of it, especially for the Catholic-funded candidate. They'd be lambasted. It would be nonstop. It would be on CNN. It would be on MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, you name it. Prove me wrong, and you know it would. But because it's a candidate being funded by a terrorist organization, everybody's lips are sealed. It's a sad, sad day in America. And just keep in mind, they're being funded, this candidate's being funded by Muslim Brotherhood. The same people, all you have to do, the same people that put 9/11 in infamy on the map, the same people that did that to America, now they're funding candidates, and you just sit back there and do nothing. Shame on you, America. All right, so much for that. Let's see. I think now I'm going to do a little reading on, let's see. All right, enough about politics. Let's do a reading on, well, on everybody's mentality. How's that? For the next week in general. How's everybody up? All right. So, actually, wow. Unbelievable energy. Mega energy, all positive. And this again, everybody, it's a general reading, but at the same time, you can take it individually. You can apply it. This is how fantastic these cards are. A general reading, but they're so loaded with energy, you can apply this to yourself. First, we start with the lovers. How fantastic is that? The lovers, look at them. You can see there's an angel over them, right? An angel over them. All right, so your spirit, everybody's spirit, let your spirit soar. So it's hovering over you and watching over you. And don't be afraid, the lovers, see them? They're two nude figures. You can't see it there, but on the left, well, looking at it, on the right is a male, and on the left is female. And sorry, I know for all you politically correct people, there's no X gender or T gender. It's male and female, all right? Who obviously they're not afraid to, they're naked here, so they're vulnerable, but that's all right because, don't be afraid and don't be shy to let people know your true colors, where you're coming from, your similarities and all the things that all the things that we have in common here. All right, and look at it, and we all have obstacles. You could see the little hill in the back there. We all have obstacles, right, that we have to overcome. But hey, in this state, it's fantastic. And okay, so that's sort of like, we'll say, the first step, and it's what a step it is. It's fantastic. Now we have our other card here is the Magician. As you could see it, all right, he's got the wand up in his hand. He's got the universal, the infinity sign over his head. He's got, and on the table, there's pentacles, there's cups, there's wands, there's everything there, right? You see the flowers in front, flowers, new growth, transformation, right? Fantastic. So what has he got? He's, if you notice, the Magician. That's each and every one of us. I told you there's so much energy in this card. And look at it. So what is it with that infinity sign, right? It all melds together. It goes around. And right, with all these tools that we have all the tools that we need. We have all the tools, each and every one of you. We have all the tools we need to sort of just figure everything out and just let everything flow. Nice, smooth, even, without any sort of, potholes and disruptions and, these static frequencies, none of that. And then, of course, after being fulfilled with the lovers and the Magician, of course, where did we end with? Justice. And all right, look at this. There's the scale right in her hand. Look, she's got the scale right in her hand there. The scales of justice evenly. All right, look at all the red in there. For me, red is strength. So at the end, right, taking the first step, letting everybody know where you're from, using all the tools that we have, it's just gonna, ignite your soul, ignite your spirit, knowing that you have the energy and the wherewithal to accomplish where it is you want to accomplish, where you want to go, where you want to end up. That's each and every one of us has all this. It's already surrounding us. It's your aura, your spirit, your soul. All you have to do is tune into it, and not to be afraid to tune into it. And tune into it, you'd be surprised. Tune into your spirit without any expectations, and you'd be amazed, absolutely amazed on where it takes you, how fantastic you feel. You feel, well, almost as good as Queen of the Optimists call her, because she's she's exceptional. But even first timers, if you sort of again, free yourself of control, just sort of let your spirit flourish and transform and grow. It takes you to new heights. And then you realize, just by tuning in to your inner self, how really fantastic things are, regardless of what's going on in the world today. But we all look at each other as one person, the individual that we all are, but yet at the same time, instead of being so divisive and trying to say, well, I disagree with you on that, and I disagree with you on that, and you're crazy because you don't know what you're talking about, and yeah, I've heard the story on that, but I'm on this side of the fence, so I'm refusing to open up to, even acknowledge that there might be some truth to that. Everybody, instead of that, just keep opening up. Tune into your spirit, your soul, your inner self, and just let it grow from within. And you're just going to feel spectacular. Instead of looking who's on this side and who's on the other side, we all look to see that we are all on the same side. But you just have to open up your sight and let it all, when you open yourself up, being so positive and so light and then that's when your spirit awakens, right? You open all that up, that's what you attract. And people that still have a hard time, or that perhaps aren't watching and don't really know about it, but now that you know how simple a process it is, maybe take a little time, not really a lot, no more than what I'm explaining now. But when you get to that sort of height, when you let your depth, when you realize that there's so much more to you than what you see in the mirror, when you think about it, there's so much more to you. It's just incredible. But when you do that, and you go out and you come in contact with other people, when you're glowing like that and just feeling so fantastic about yourself, regardless of what's going on, that's what our elected officials are for. We call them up and tell them what we like or what we don't like. And you just let it flourish. And you're so upbeat and thinking so positive, and you're on such a roll, and let snowball in a good way, and you get brighter and brighter and feeling better about yourself and better about yourself. And the more you do that, when you're out in public, people, even strangers, there's no doubt about it, no question about it, they'll won't be able to not notice that about you. And no words have to be exchanged, but your positive energy, when you're that positive, you have so much positive energy, like Queen of the Optimists. She has a never-ending supply. You just, all this positive energy, you just absorb it. And by absorbing so much, you're absorbing so much, you've even got so much that it starts flowing outwards. And when it starts flowing outwards, it's other people not realizing it, coming in close enough to you, or just close enough so they can actually, see the expression on your face, how loving it is and how bright and how wonderful it is. It sort of snowballs onto them. They don't realize what hit them, although they too think of the same, wow, they can feel you. Believe me, I know. They'll feel the energy pouring out of you, and in turn, it starts the ball rolling in them. which, remember that old commercial with the shampoo? If you have two friends and they tell, it's four friends, I think, right? If you have four friends and they have four friends, and, and it wears off to four more friends, well, in like 20 seconds you saw what? The whole screen with tiny little, like, a thumbnail prints on it. So, all right, everybody. So that's everybody's project for the week. And it'll be effortless. All right, so, seeing as we don't have much time left, people, all right, just keep in mind how easy it really is to feel absolutely fantastic about you. How, and by feeling fantastic, you sort of can sway more people to be just as fantastic without having to say anything to them, telepathically. They'll get it just by feeling your unbelievable energy. And so don't forget about that. And like I said, it's actually quite simple. And I think that might be the downfall where people don't think it can be that simple, but it is. Give it a go. And in the meantime, again, I'm David B., the reading guy. 603-404-9338. Any questions, comments, anything, give me a call, thereadingsguy.com. And in the meantime, hopefully I'll be back next week. We'll see what happens. Depends on his schedule. Remember, you are a winner.